How much time is there left on the clock? You know what? I don't even want to look. It looks like absolute garbage. This suffering.
Today, I'm putting myself into stock footage to make a sick optical illusion video in 10 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hours to see how big of a difference time really makes.
How is it going, guys? And welcome to the 𝐂𝐿𝐿 channel. We're a group of teachers that want to shore up your video production skills in as little time as possible.
Yo, it's Herman here on the 𝐂𝐿𝐿 channel, and I'm taking on a challenge inspired by Benny Productions, but in After Effects instead of Photoshop. I'll be making an optical illusion video by placing myself into stock footage from Envato Elements. What I'm hoping to do is pluck the Eiffel Tower out, spray paint it onto a scrapbook, and then place the tower back into the shot. I know, it's a little ambitious. Now the challenge is to do this in 10 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hours to compare the difference. Now I'll make sure to talk a little bit louder in this challenge so it doesn't feel like I'm spooning you guys. Very odd image when I read that. So let's hop over to After Effects and get to it.
All right, so we got After Effects right in front of us. We have the footage that's imported, and this is the clip that I shot in my garage in front of a green screen. This is a stock footage in question. So this is what it's gonna look like. I'm actually gonna have it in a vertical, like 16:9 ratio, so it can be posted onto like, IG Reels or TikTok, because it feels like a video that's appropriate for stuff like that. So let's give it a try. But I got some other assets over here, like this perfume spray, which might be like the spray paint. I don't really know. And then this one's actually from a spray can that I plan to use. We got some spray brushes over here as well that I'm planning to kind of reveal the Eiffel Tower drawing. And these are all from Envato Elements. And if you want to get sick assets like this, you can get your first month of Envato Elements for only $9, which is 70% off. And it's as easy as looking up what you want, going to the clip that you want to download, and just hitting the big shiny download button. And there's always so many options on Envato Elements. 10 minutes on the clock. I have no idea if I can even do the effect at all, but as long as I kind of deliver the idea, I feel like that will be a sign of success. Maybe, I don't know. Let's just start the timer. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, let's not freak out. Let's just go straight into this clip. We're gonna go over here and we're going to key myself out. Now, I can't get a very clean key because I am overlapping with like the border over here. Okay, I should spend not as much time describing things and just do it because I only have 10 minutes. Just gonna, oh my gosh. I'm already spending way too much time on this. So now what? Oh, okay, don't look at the timer. Just imagine it's not there. Let's put the stock footage in. That's probably a good start. And do that. And then this is not a vertical video, so I don't know why I decided to take on the challenge and make it vertical. I can't believe there's only 8 minutes left. I have not done anything at all. And what am I looking for? Oh, right, I'm looking for the FX and presets panel because it's, no, wait, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the FX control panel. And you know what? Let's just freeze the stock footage clip because it's not long enough. What am I doing? Let's just kind of line it up approximately the same. Oh my gosh, it's nowhere near the same. Gosh darn it. Okay, let's do something close like this, okay? It doesn't have to be exact. You know what I just realized? I have to paint this Eiffel Tower out. How much time is there left on the clock? You know what? I don't even want to look. I will spend more time doing this properly in the later sections, but for now, I'm going to just cut out this Eiffel Tower and put a blue solid on it. Wow, look how beautiful that is, guys. Looks just like a beautiful blue sky. Oh, I realize I need to crop this Eiffel Tower out. A little under 4 minutes left. All the time I need. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful, guys. I am so excited to show you the final results of this 10 minutes. Something isn't right here, and I don't know why. Oh, because I was masking the solid and not masking this footage. That's what happens when you're rushed, guys. You don't make good decisions. Okay, it's just me. It's just me. We have 2 minutes left and there is no effects on this scrapbook. Can I pretend there's spray paint? Can I at least put this in to get the idea in? And then we're just going to flip this around. We're just going to do something like, oh no, I put the wrong value in. Instead of tracking it to the spray can, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to keyframe the positioning. You know what? I'm not going to even keyframe it. I don't think we have time for that. We literally have 50 seconds left. It sprays. We don't see the drawing. Great. Okay. It doesn't become a painting or anything. I just spray it onto a book and nothing happens. What can I really do in 30 seconds? I can try and blend this footage to the scene a little bit better, maybe. Nothing like a good old curves to fix it right up. I don't know what values to play with. I'm just taking my best guess right now. Let's do some final tweaks. Okay, maybe not. That's okay. Let's render it out and watch it back. I want to vomit. So as you can see, this beautifully crafted composition, the way that this is so feathered out, it's like this Eiffel Tower that I plucked right out from the stock footage is legit. Like, it looks so realistic. In 10 minutes, I give this a 10 out of 10. Sarcasm aside, this looks like a steaming hot pile of shit. There's a lot of things that I couldn't do. First of all, as I mentioned, you know, this masking is complete garbage. I literally just used a solid and just color picked like the same color as the sky. So obviously it looks like terrible. Little things like where I overlap with that terrible mask that I drew, I'm going to need to fill in somehow. Got to clean up that key like a lot more now that I'm looking at it again and playing it back. This part over here, I got to get rid of these little tracking points over here because that is for me to basically reveal the Eiffel Tower that is going to be spray painted onto this scrapbook, and you don't see any of that. I added this like spraying animation just to kind of deliver the idea. This swap for the stock footage Eiffel Tower is somehow going to look good, and I have no idea how. And look at myself, look at me, look at how proud I am after putting that Eiffel Tower in, only for it to look terrible. And then I walk off like that, and then somehow I will have to fill myself in. I am not sure how yet, so I can create this kind of like looping video because this is going to wipe over and then it will kind of reset everything. I don't know if that made sense, but maybe you guys will be able to see it in the final result. Before that, let's move on to 1 hour. 1 hour on the clock. How much am I going to accomplish? Place your bets in the comments below right now because I do not have very much faith in myself. So I'm going to delete this composition and pretend that it never happened. But here we go. 1 hour clock. 3, 2, 1. I gotta first keep my footage like what I did before, but this time I'm gonna spend a little more time on it. And before I started this challenge, I totally forgot to move my camera screen, so that is blocking the corner of my monitor right now. So I might just end up spending more time doing silly things like I did before, but that's okay. It makes great content, right? Pain and suffering makes great content. I don't know if I have time to pre-render this, but I'm gonna give it a try. This is going to be my mat. Look at it go. What's the estimated remaining time? Please tell me it's not gonna be something like 57 minutes because that's all I have left. We're going to copy over the advanced spill suppression so we can get rid of that little green tint, as you can see, right? Nice little comparison. Why am I doing this like it's a tutorial? It's not a tutorial, it's a challenge. I think we need to get rid of this Eiffel Tower, and I'm going to use the content aware fill in Photoshop to do so. And we're just going to do something like this and just draw over the Eiffel Tower like that. I have not used the content aware fill for something as complicated as being surrounded by bushes. And let's see, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Look at that comparison. I'm glad that I came into Photoshop. Like, look how beautiful that is. It's amazing. And then I'm going to use the spot healing brush and just get rid of some of those little blemishes over here. You see that, right? The way that it blends not so nicely over here. You know what? That's not quite working out. So we're going to use the patch tool. I think the patch tool will do a better job. I actually do not know. This was okay, right? It's like the Eiffel Tower never existed. Paris's tourism probably wouldn't do so well if it didn't. So let's put that erased one over here, just like that. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my, I'm amazed. And then we're going to we're going to get rid of the Eiffel Tower, like this little toy thing. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. So I come into the scene. There's a little bit of chatter up there, but I don't think I have time to clean that up. So I think I'm just going to do like what I did before. I'm going to do a very simple mask. This erased image is going to come right in the moment that you see the toy Eiffel Tower. The thing is, I'm going to have to roto myself so that you can see my thumb overlapping with the fake Eiffel Tower or the stock footage Eiffel Tower. Okay, so after masking my thumb and my finger, this is what it looks like. It's not terrible. Definitely be worked on a little more. Like, for example, my fingers need to be filled over here and it just doesn't make sense right now, but for what it is, it's okay. So we're gonna move on so that we can at least do most of the effects that I want to accomplish. And man, I just realized that my arm is completely chopped off over here and I'm not sure how I'm gonna fill that in later, along with the scrapbook. Oh wow, this really is a challenge. And we're gonna do some fun in Mocha by opening it up. A few things that we'll need to track. Number one is, oh man, I just realized there's a lot more work than I initially thought. Like, it's piling up. I'm discovering more and more challenges. So the first thing is this book. What I should have really done was track this arm first because it might screw up my tracking data for this book since it is an occlusion. Look at that. That's terrible. See, now we just wasted some time. We got to delete that and we got to start over again. So we're going to track this arm. Oh, this suffering. I love it. So we track the occlusion first. This will make Mocha learn that when we track the book afterwards, we can omit that arm. Oh, it still shrinks. I love it. As the timer goes, you can see Herman's optimism fade away slowly. Now we're gonna do something a little bit weird. We're gonna do a reverse stabilization workflow and we're gonna duplicate this. We're going to take the tracking data, create the tracking data from the book, not any of the arms. I just wish my arms were not existing in this footage, but we're going to take that. We're gonna put export that onto the top one. We're going to not use transform data. We're going to use a corner pin, apply export, and here we go. I have a lovely Herman on the book, but we're going to delete this. We're going to now change the corner pin data into CC power pin data. And once we've done that, we can call that book, and then we can place that back in, and in here we can unstretch it, and then this is what it looks like. Now I have this reverse stabilization of this book fit in just like this, and now I can do whatever I want, like getting rid of these markers. So a reverse stabilization workflow is the secret weapon for any VFX artist, and I highly recommend you guys looking into that. So I can't talk too extensively over this because I've already wasted 1 minute trying to explain it. I'm going to draw over the little plus signs like this, and a little bit of a feather as well, and we're going to place this in over here like this, and we're going to get rid of all 4 of them. And normally I would also mask over the areas where my arm will overlap it, but in this case it's just going to look like the book is over my arm momentarily. It's fine as long as no one else notices. Who am I kidding? Everyone's going to notice. Okay, so we're going to change that to Lumimat. We're going to place this back in, and look at that, the markers are kind of erased. It starts showing up here and there and starts looking terrible, but as long as you guys get the idea, I think it's okay. Now, how am I going to get the Eiffel Tower drawing onto this book? That is a very good question that I do not know the answer myself. I think what we're going to do is we're going to head back over to Photoshop. Instead of erasing the Eiffel Tower from the stock footage, we're going to isolate the Eiffel Tower so I have it on its own, so I can use it and put it onto the book. I'm hoping that I can use Photoshop's amazing object selection tool, and if I just draw over this, is it going to select the Eiffel Tower? Oh, that is dirty. And we see a bit of the blue over here. Wait a second, I can select the sky now? This is a technology I've never seen before. I should have just done that in the first place. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna use After Effects anymore. I'm just gonna be a Photoshop person. So Eiffel Tower comes in just like that. We're gonna place that into the scene like this, and we're going to make it look like a work of art. We'll get it so that it looks kind of like where the shadow is, like this. And I'll even use something like Power Pin and then stretch it a little bit, kind of like this. I know some of this doesn't look so good, but we're going to use that paintbrush asset. So the little detail is that I should time it with the spray painting action, but I don't think I have time for that with 22 minutes, so I'm just going to deliver the idea kind of like this, and then we're going to use it as a matte for this Eiffel Tower like this. So now it's Luma matted. Because I'm spray painting black, we're going to change it so that the fill is black, and that does not look okay because I applied it to the wrong layer. I actually want it onto this. Okay, that does not look so good either. What have I done? Okay, so instead of doing that, let's go to curves and let's play with that and hope that looks a little bit better, and that doesn't look that much better. How about desaturating it? That's a little bit better. That looks more like a sketch than spray painting. Maybe we'll add a little bit of curves. There's this constant struggle in my head right now where I'm just thinking, okay, what's considered acceptable right now because I'm not spending too much time on the details and I want to deliver the idea, and what is absolutely not passable because it looks like absolute garbage. And right now with these black boxes over here, because I froze the time, it looks like absolute garbage. Okay, so when I go back to the main comp after this is kind of what it looks like. Terrible. But this painting didn't suddenly appear. It came from this spray paint from this spray can. So we're going to need to add that in. So in this case, we're just going to track my entire hand because the spray paint can is basically strapped to my hand as I'm holding it. And we're going to pull in one of our lovely assets. Yes, this is the one. So we're going to place that in. So let's change the fill to black like this. And then we're going to put that over there. And I just realized that this spraying is very far off from the book. That's okay. We can adjust it. We can just adjust the distance by playing with the scale like this, and we're going to track that over to the spray paint track. Saying that word will be the bane of my existence. I don't know what I should do. I have like 7 minutes and there's not a lot I can do in that time frame right now. Maybe I'll try to at least film myself in over here when I'm walking past the Eiffel Tower. We're going to just time freeze it, and we're going to basically crop my jacket. All right, and now we have something like that, which looks amazing, very real. Let's move on. The last little bit, we can probably color match it a little bit better to the scene. So I'm going to take this guy over here. We're going to add a little curves onto it, and we're going to see if we can match it. So let's go and turn on only the red channels and then go to red, and it's not too bad actually, but I can probably get it so that's a little bit closer. And then we're going to go over to green and go to green like this. And then we're going to go to the blue channel and start messing with that as well. And then we go back to RGB. And during this moment where I'm doing a direct swap from the stock footage footage Eiffel Tower to the little toy miniature over here. I can probably blend it a little bit better by adding maybe 1 or 2 frames of the Eiffel Tower itself on top of the toy so that it blends just a little bit better. I'm not sure if this is going to really work out, but I've got to at least give it a try, right? Got to give it an honest effort. And we can probably do something like using CC power pin like this, so I can move the legs a little bit more, kind of like that, so it matches the same dimension as the miniature. And I just realized that this Eiffel Tower kind of goes through the little bush over there, but that's okay because the timer is about to run out in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's watch back the progress of the 1 whole hour. So we take a look at the Eiffel Tower, we see it in the foreground, we pluck it right out, okay? And we bring a sketchbook in and those tracking markers disappear all of a sudden. I spray paint it and it's now on the scrapbook. We remove the Eiffel Tower only to place it back in the stock footage. And then admire its beauty as I walk off screen and it'll loop. It delivered the idea. I think that was mainly what I wanted to accomplish. So I think that it was still not good. If I had a kid and he brought this to me and thought that it was acceptable work, I'd probably disown him. So I think this is more like a pre-viz type of quality. But if I brought this to a client that really wanted to promote this, I don't know, like travel post for the Eiffel Tower for Paris, I would cringe. I was struggling a lot with color matching it with the Eiffel Tower without introducing back that green that made it look like I'm in front of a green screen. As you can see, this little green bounce over here, this little chatter on top over here is really destroying the illusion of me making it look like I'm in the scene. And then for this part where I am plucking out the Eiffel Tower, like it's okay. Like if I watch it through the first time, I might not catch it, but there's a lot of cleanup work, like this little halo hologram looking thing, which I was not going for, but it was because of the blending mode that I chose. But at least I spent a little bit of time of actually having this finger kind of go over the Eiffel Tower of the stock footage, but I do need to clean up this little area over here. And also like seeing through the Eiffel Tower, like these little grids over here, my finger should technically be visible over here. And I'm gonna need to somehow solve this problem over here where my arm literally disappears as I pick up the sketchbook. So I don't know if I should cheat it by scaling in a little more, but it's not gonna look as good. So I'm gonna try to avoid that and actually take the time to paint myself back in. That's going to be a lot of pain and suffering, but it will be well worth it and I will have the extra time to do so. This tracking marker, by the way, I got 4 of those that I got to worry about, so I'm going to need to play around with that as well. The final act of our magic trick where we place the Eiffel Tower back in, I'm going to need to blend it a little bit better with the real Eiffel Tower. So I'm probably going to use a very similar technique to what I did before, where I basically just used 1 or 2 frames where I overlaid the stock footage Eiffel Tower over the miniature Eiffel Tower to kind of like, you know, in that little motion blur, I can probably disguise it so that it looks a little more smooth. And then I smile, look off, and then we're going to need to fix this up as well, where I walk over camera, but there's actually a miniature Eiffel Tower that I masked out and I need to fill back in somehow. In hindsight, it would have been nice to have a little clean plate of me walking past it and then just putting my jacket on top of that, but sometimes you're dealt with some terrible footage and you just got to make it work. So I want to show you the reality and pain of post-production. Why do I still do this for a living? We are going to delete all this stuff and start completely fresh on a blank slate. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see what I can accomplish and if I can even accomplish something that is presentable by the end of 4 hours. So on your mark, get set, let's go.
After 4 hours of work, this was the result. Definitely a massive difference in comparison to the 10-minute version and the 1-hour version. Although I'm not 100% satisfied with the result because there were so many details I could have fixed, I wanted to stay within the 4 hours because I could have easily spent like an entire day chipping away at this. With the extra time, I spent a majority of it cleaning up the green screen shot and painting myself back into the parts that overlap with the miniature and the green box under it. After almost 3 hours passed by cleaning up the shot, I did what any normal person would. I freaked out and thought that this challenge was doomed for failure. Luckily, there's a secret weapon that I tuck away for emergency situations like this, which is to compromise. I ended up Frankensteining the can of spray paint with bits and pieces of the frames where I could actually see it, and then I did the same thing for the sketchbook. I also used a black solid for my jacket, which I would not recommend, but it was the quickest solution to a very painful problem. In hindsight, I should have shot a clean plate of me doing the exact same action from beginning to end without anything in the foreground. Now, there was a lot of interpretation where the arm would be, which is the fastest way to make things look terrible. Now, was it the right way to do things? No, but did it turn out okay? Did it turn out okay? But there you guys have it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this challenge. It's the second time that we've done one of these, and as stressful as it was, it's always rewarding to know what can be accomplished with a little bit of pressure. I'm not gonna live a very long life, am I? Now make sure to subscribe to the 𝐂𝐿𝐿 channel if you haven't done so already so that you don't miss the next video from the other talented creators here, and make sure that you hit that bell notification as well. I'm not sure where you click to do that. It's another way to stay on top of things. If you wanna check out the previous After Effects challenge, you can check that out with the little pop-up over there. If you want to see what I'm personally up to, you can check out my YouTube and my Instagram. My handles are right here, and they're also down in the description below. Otherwise, my name is Herman, and I'll see you guys in the next one.